just take your clay mold, all right? Now, y'all know this part. We're gonna dust it with some cornstarch. Now, you can use baby powder as well. And y'all, this is only for the air dry clay, okay? Only for the clay. If we used epoxy resin and I can write this stuff down. If you want to message me your email address, I can send you a little PDF of everything you need to know about molds, okay, and air dry clay. Because sometimes you want to have it, and if you're a creative junkie, I think I have a video like this in the creative junkie group. I'll add all these like little instructional ones up there in the basic guide. All right, so you're going to take your clay out. Did I dust the right one? We did. All right, and so for the trim, we're just going to roll it, kind of roll it. Pam, they come in lots of sizes, like 12 by 12. Oh, the cut, okay. All right, so I just kind of roll out my clay like this, okay? Just press it in. Press it in with your fingers. And it's not a bad idea to just put some cornstarch on your fingers, because if it lifts up, that makes me so irritated when it does that, because if it lifts up out of the mold and then you lay it back down, it could like mess up the image. Just kind of, and you can actually take your, if you have a brayer, you can actually use that to kind of roll it out. Be careful though, going like back, because it'll lift out of there. So just kind of do it in one direction. I usually don't use this. I usually just use my thumbs, but you know what? You do want to get a nice flat back. This is the back, because this is the part you're going to be gluing on. Oh, I'm hot today. I mean, it's gone, so cold, and now it's so warm. It's in the 60s, and it's been 30. Nice and sunny today. Did I dress for that? No. And you can even take, let's see. Do I have one? You can take, I don't know where my little, I had a little putty knife. I don't know where it is, a plastic one. But if you use one of these, kind of start in the middle and just lightly go across here. One reason, because you don't want to lift it out of the mold. Another reason is, well, with plastic, it's okay, but if you have one of these that are kind of metal, you could cut the little ridges of your molds, which I didn't think that was possible, but somebody's done it, so it's possible. All right, so, and then, look, you just make sure it's flat, okay? And if it has any, just kind of smooth it around. And sometimes you may just want to add just a little bit more. Okay, so see how that's just kind of smooth, okay? It's flat, all right? Now, we're going to take it out, okay? I should just come on straight down here. All right, and then you're gonna line it up on that, right next to wherever you want it. You can make your, like I said, you could do it right here on the edge if you wanted to, okay? I like to do something a little different. I think this looks good. And so I dust it each time I use it, okay? Each time. Now, I'm not going to glue it down right now because I'm gonna wait and get all my pieces because I want to save what I don't get glue on. Like if I glue it all the way down and then because we're going to miter the corners. This doesn't look like I've got enough. Just go ahead and press, just add some more. It's okay. And you can do this on wood, you can do it on canvas, you can do it on anything. Metal, plastic, really anything that, you know, that you can glue. Glass, we're gonna do it on the glass. I love doing it on glass, actually. Okay. Now, if you don't have one of these, maybe just take a paintbrush, okay, and the handle, and just roll that. Oh, that's cool. Has a hole in it. So it was making, you know, or a rolling pin or whatever you have in the kitchen that'll work, because that kitchen things are good. And then just get the excess off. Make sure it's filled in all the way on the edges, okay, all the way, because you wanted a good, nice piece, solid fit. So I was listening to, I like to listen to these crime, murder podcasts. Let's see. Hopefully not ice, but I'm right in the snow. Oh, man. So, yeah. So I learned something today in a podcast I was listening to, that some lady was burned up in her car. I know, I listen to the weirdest things. I mean, why would I listen to that? I don't know. But did you know that, and y'all probably know, but, you know, I don't get out much. Cow manure is good for, wait, what was it? Was it starting fires? Because her car was burned up. Wait, is that right? I may not even be thinking right. But apparently it's a thing. I mean, the host of the show said she looked it up, and yes, it's a thing. All right, so see all these pieces? So you're gonna overlap each one that you make, okay? Right on top of the other, right to the edge, like that. And go ahead and look, y'all hear me talk about, don't ever stretch your piece to try to make it fit. So I always take my pieces, and I'll go ahead and do it right now. But go from end to end like this, and push it together. Can you see how that's kind of squishing together? Don't do it where you're gonna lose the image, you know, where you're gonna mess it up, but just push it just a little bit like this. Okay? Now look at this one. See the difference? And they were the same size, right? They were the same length. And so watch, I'm gonna push this one. So if you glue it down like this, it's possible to shrink, right? And if it shrinks down to this size, you're gonna have some big old gaps. All right, so I'm gonna take these and just push it. I call it accordion style. And that one didn't, just do it as much as it'll do. I mean, because that one's just a little bit different, but it still shrunk up a lot. I mean, see that? All right. And then go ahead and overlap it. Because if you go ahead and glue it down, or if you go ahead and miter the corners and get it all situated and then do that, it's going to be too short. And there's also something you can do, and I'll show you after we miter the corners, a good way to make sure you're not going to have any cracks in there. You're just going to cover it up with some more clay, with another mold. Hey kitty, we are making, this is all about molds. It's just like kind of molds 101 here, right? We're just talking about, I've got a little wood panel here. I'm using the Trimmings 2 mold right here, and I'm making a frame with the clay, with this mold here, and trying to give you tips on how to keep it from shrinking, and just how to get a good finish, a good look, without the cracking and without all the shrinking. So many people ask me about it, and I honestly don't have a lot of shrinking or cracking. I don't know if they're using IOD clay, which is the best. I don't know if they're, in a hot or a cold place. I don't know. I just know what I have found works for me. I am in a basement, and it stays pretty cool down here. But I heat it with my heat gun. I always heat them up, because I feel like, that's drying them, and if they're going to shrink any, it's going to be while they're drying. And this is what I've taught my creative junkies. Some of them are on here. Y'all tell them if it works for you. I mean, I swear by it. So, and all I know is it works. I like it. I'm kind of liking using this roller. Like I said, I don't ever use that, but it actually does pretty well. All right, and then, so I've pressed it in, I've rolled it, and I'm gonna just use my little putty knife. These, see, there's the difference. See how nice and flat this side is, and this one's just a little bumpy, see? So if you take it out of your mold like this, like if you don't straighten, it's not going to be that bad if you don't do this part, but it sure does make it lay down nicely if your back is nice and straight. And these molds, especially IOD's new molds, and I'm just going right over that ridge that they have, okay? Because the IOD molds has this nice little ridge that kind of sticks up, so you can just kind of go right over that and get a smooth back. Okay, take it out. It's best just to turn it over and let it fall out so you don't pull on it. Don't pull on it. If you do, just push on it some more. All right, so just like we did the other ones, I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to push each side like this. Okay, just push, push, push. You're not pushing it to change anything. It doesn't change the look at all. It just shortens it. It just kind of gets it the way it should be. And we're going to lay that like that. And now, not every time are they going to be the exact same length. I don't know how that happens, but sometimes it just does. But if you try to do this after it's glued down, it's just going to be too hard to do it, because I use Tight Bond glue, okay? And it sticks like quickly, so it won't move. It won't move like easily like that. All right, so I'm going to move this a little bit out of the way and do my last one. More cornstarch if you're coming in late. Just put it right here. Yeah, this one. Just more cornstarch. Doesn't take a lot. And again, this is just for the clay. You don't do this for resin or glue or anything else. It's just for the clay. And if you want to be sure you have no shrinking or no cracking, you want to use resin. It just makes for a perfect, and I'll show you some pieces when we get done. The epoxy resin is the one where you just leave it overnight and it dries clear. The fast cast resin is the one that sets up like in 10 minutes and it dries white. And a lot of people are getting really confused on because I was using the Amazing brand, the Amazing Resin Fast Cast, and they have amazing clear coat, amazing epoxy, they have amazing everything. And so people are getting really confused about which one to get. And you can't find that fast casting very easily. And so I have another brand that I wasn't liking, but I'm going to try it again. I think it was user error. I think I was doing it wrong. You have to really follow the directions on those things, and I don't like reading directions. I don't have patience to sit there and read directions. But if it messes up, I usually have to go back and say, okay, I know it's something I did, because too many people use this. I was like that with the DIY paint when I first started using it. I was like, I can't use this. But I just wasn't doing what it needed to be done. There's a learning curve with DIY paint, but now I love it. Okay, so you got it in. I pressed it in. If anybody's popping on late, just pressing it in. Mr. R, okay. Press it in, roll it if you have something to roll it with. Even a can, even that. Just anything round, you can just roll it around it or over it. Use this to lightly go across the edge. You can use a credit card. You could use, just anything straight edge or flat. All right, so I'm going to put my clay, keep it in your baggie, put it in a plastic bag, and also, where did it go? I like to keep a baby wipe in there, or a damp, or a damp paper towel or something. Okay? All right. Now, are there any questions so far before we glue and miter? All right. Coming down like this. Ease it down. All right. Now, what are we going to do now? Who can tell me? What comes next? You're going to squeeze it. You're going to squeeze like an accordion. Okay. Just gently. Because what you're doing right there, you're taking up some of the shrinking that will happen when it dries. You're just kind of go ahead and shrinking it. Okay. Now we're ready to glue. Okay, so I'm going to line them up right by my line that I didn't draw a straight line, I just have marks. So hopefully I can get it. You're going to overlap right on top. See how easy it is to pick up and stretch? I was doing that. So you're going to overlap right on the top of it. Oh wait, I'm not on my line. Hello. That. Coming across, line it up on my marks. So I measured in, y'all, like if you came in late, I measured just 1.25 inches or something. I'm coming on the inside of that line, not the outside, but the inside. And again, you don't have to do that. You can do it on the corners. Okay. Now I may change these up a minute after I cut them, but we're about to, we're just gonna miter the corners now. Is there any questions? Glue before heat gun. Yes, Susie. So if you're taking notes, again, if you want to message me your email address, I'll write down the tips, all the tips. So you cornstarch, press in the clay, take it out, especially on the trims. Now, if it's a regular, like a bird or a heart or something, you're not gonna do much squeezing on anything, okay? I mean, you can do it a little bit, but this is mainly for the trim is where I think people have most trouble. And I'm gonna just flip this like that. I don't know why I had that kind of woven instead of laying on top. Okay. So I'm gonna cut and then glue because I'm gonna save my little pieces that I cut. All right. I really like to use a razor blade. You know what? I'm gonna use this. What's going on? I'm actually gonna use this. I like something that I can go straight down on top with. I don't know where my razor blade is, but all right, let me kind of angle this down and hopefully y'all can see better what I'm doing. All right, so we're gonna go from corner to corner on the diagonal, okay? Like here's the corner, and you're gonna go through both pieces, okay? Now, let me do this. Instead of having it overlapping I'm gonna line this piece up and get it even with that mark. And if you need to, just draw your mark, let's see. I never know which way is which on this thing. If you want to draw it so you can keep it really straight. It's right there. I still don't think I got it straight, but that's okay. All right. This way you can, you'll just have less pieces to kind of deal with. And you can put that right on the line, okay, right on the line with this piece. And line it up. Try to get it right even with those ends right there. Okay, and now this is easier to look at like this. Okay, so you're gonna just come straight. Can y'all tell I'm at an angle? This corner right here to this corner. And if it helps, you can do it like this too. Okay, that way you can tell you're on a corner. You can line it up if you want to, okay? And just take your time and then go straight. So if you look, I'm corner to corner. And you can do this if you want to, okay? Corner to corner. But I like to just go straight down. Okay, you go through both pieces. Okay, so you're going to have a top piece that you're going to save. And you're going to have a bottom piece. So you're going to have a top and a bottom piece if you do it like this. All right. Let's go to this one. I hope I'm on my line. If not, it's okay. Now don't pull it, okay? Don't stretch it or pull it. In fact, kind of go ahead and do your little pushing again. Just keep doing this a little bit each time. All right? Again, corner to corner, like this. on an angle. Push straight down. Again, you can use a razor blade. You can use this little, you know, if you're good at doing this, you can do that. So here's my top piece. Go all the way through. My top piece and my bottom piece. One looks thicker than this one, but that's still okay. And I'm going to show you something else, but that you can still fill that in, because when you paint, you can fill that in, but I'm going to show you something I like to do. All right, so are we good on this line? Lay this one on the line and over it. We'll do the same thing. Same thing. But let me do this. See, it works better on the end where you just edge it like this. It works better. Shouldn't, but it just did. Okay, so we got it right there. All right, again, corner to corner. Now know that you're going from the inside, okay, corner. Don't do this, because yeah. Stay on the inside. Stay on the inside of your frame, okay? And what I mean by that, I mean kind of look at it this way and go in this direction to the outside, inside to outside like that. Top piece, bottom piece. I didn't draw a mark right there. Okay. It's the hardest part to me is keeping the thing straight. All right, inside corner, going to the outside corner. Press down. Top piece and bottom piece. All right. And now we glue. And see how good that looks? Okay, right here. All right, so now we're going to take our glue. Gosh, I almost smushed it. Lightly, just pull it up, turn it over. And I just rub it on the edges. I may not have enough. You do want to try to get it all the way over to the edges, and it's because that's where you want to press that down really nice on your piece. Okay, and gentle, gentle, gentle. All right. I never have a rag right there. Okay. Just go ahead and try to make sure it's straight. And it's kind of hard once you glue it now, so I like to get my ruler and just kind of make sure I've got it straight. Gently pat it down. And if I get glue that comes out like that, I like to get just a little paintbrush and I wet it. You can have a little cup and dip it in, but I wet it. And I just wipe it off right like that. I usually have a baby wipe, but just kind of wet it. Because you want to wipe that off. I mean, the glue will dry clear, but it'll just be puckered up right there. All right. Whew. Am I missing any questions? I will come back, y'all. I'll come back and see if anybody has questions. Let me know if I've missed anything. Jessie, if you're watching, Jessie, she already knows what she's doing, but I may forget to say something, so let me know if I've missed something or if you have a question. Okay. Lightly press. No smushing. Okay, and just gently push this together. Get my ruler. Ooh, got wet. I'm just gonna, that slipped. Okay. And you want to just press the, gosh, that's wet. You want to press the edges lightly. Let's see if you can tell. See how they're kind of, let's see, well, I don't know, like, see how that's puckered right there just a little bit? Just go around and gently press those edges down. And you might want to keep checking them. But like I said, when you go to painting, if you're using a thick paint like I use, it fills that all in. And if for some reason you missed it, you can put more clay in there. I'm trying to make sure this is straight. You can put more clay, or you can put embossing medium in there. You can put what else? Glue. You can put some of this glue, or you can put more paint. And you can put another little mold. So I'll show you what I've done with this type with this mold that I like to do. I like to use the little bit of the bead mold that's on the classic elements because it matches like with this little circle really well. And you just do a little piece on the diagonal. And I'm probably boring y'all to tears. When you make it, it looks easy, it means that, oh. Let's see. Transfer or photo inside the frame when I put them down, and then when I'm doing I've done it both ways. I normally would put my transfer down first. You don't have to. You don't have to. Just have patience with it. Don't try to, rush it or... One last piece, and we'll go around the edges. Sometimes I'll take my little paint brush and kind of press the edges. Just depends on what mold I'm using. And then one last one. So I probably will put a transfer in this one, but, well, I don't know what I'll do. It doesn't matter which, what you do first. You can always cut your transfer to fit. I might let this be my project. When am I coming back on? I actually posted a schedule today, y'all. When did I say? Is it Wednesday? Maybe it's tomorrow. I don't remember. I think it's tomorrow. So I'll come back tomorrow and we'll finish this. We'll do something on it. Okay. And then there we go. Those had a little piece missing or something. I don't trust my ruler. I don't feel like it's that straight. Now my husband would have a level out. I can tell it is a little lumpy job this way. And this way, let me see, it might be too late to push this. All right. So that looks really good. I'm really pleased with that. So I'm gonna wet my brush again and kind of come down along the sides here. Just to get any glue up. I don't like I said, it dries clear, but I don't like it. I want it to be smooth right here. Okay, let's check the sides. Gently, gently. Let's see. Yeah, I will, Susie. That's good. It's going to be gorgeous. Thank you, Sandra. Okay, so y'all, any questions on that? Okay, let me come up just a little bit so I don't feel like a weirdo. I see a very lift on the outside top. Yes? Good eye. So yes, so kind of keep looking. You just kind of want to pick it up and go around. And you may want to do that a few times, because that's where it's going to lift. But very gently, because you don't want to smush. Now this particular trim has a little bit of a edge to it where I can do that without messing it up. But, okay, you want to do the inside too. So y'all, you can even do a paint pour inside of this and let it catch it. My mind can't ever just stay on the stay on task. Keep thinking, what else can I do with that? Okay, so I like that. Now, this is what I do. I just heat it up. And you can kind of tell if your lines aren't straight because it's just not going to fit nicely. See, this is really, the corners are pretty nice and snug. Okay. But there is going to be a line because that's how you cut it. But the paint will fill that up. And also I'm going to show you one other thing. I don't do this long, just get it a little crispy. And you can do this, you do this with any of the trims. You do it with anything. Well, no, you don't do it with anything. This particular one, I'll show y'all one day. You don't miter the corners with this one. This is a really cool trim. It's not a trim, it's just part of the laurel. I think it's the laurel. All right, now let me get one other thing to show you. So this mold is the classic Elements, and it's it's worth it just to have this little bead part right there. So, what I've done with this before, just, oops, that was way too much starch. You don't need that much. And see, I can take all the pieces I had left. Y'all, and IOD is out of this trim, so I'm being stingy. I'm saving it all. When I use blow dryer, it starts to crack. How long do you do the blow dryer? That is so interesting. Okay, what kind of clay? You using the air dry clay, right? When are you doing it too long? It starts to crack. Well, you see, mine didn't crack, okay? And I used the heat gun. I used heat. Where are you when you're doing it? I want to finish this. I want to figure this out. Is your blow dryer on hot? Is it on cool? Are you in a cold place? Air dry clay. Now this feels a little dry. Probably, you know why? Because your pieces will be a little dry that you saved because you had cornstarch in there, okay? And so it'll get a little dried out. But if you save it, you know, with the baby wipe or the napkin, and if you have clay that's really hard, maybe it's old, take it out of the plastic that it comes in, take it completely out and put it in a baggie with a wet paper towel wrapped around it. And it'll come back to life for you. All right, so again, this is the little bead part. Oh, shoot. See what I mean? Gosh. It came completely out. Let me just see if it's okay. Ooh, I would have been mad if that was a big old trim piece. All right. Put that in. We'll close it up. So, let me show you what you can do if you're... And you can do this with any of the trim pretty much. Or, you know, just be creative and use something over it. All right. So, we got our... I'm going to bend that and let it pop out. Okay. See this little bead? It's cute little, just so simple. And see it, I love it with this trim because it has the little bead on there. Right? Okay. So look, we're just gonna plop this over that line. First of all, let's press it, okay? Let's do this little business. This detail's not very good. You see what I mean? It's not, well, see, it's not very, I'm gonna do another one. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, it's a perfectionist. I don't know why. I think maybe because it plopped out when I was rolling it, or it's a little dry from having that cornstarch on it. And what I meant is each little bead wasn't separated a lot. This one will be different. I'll show you. Well, I didn't get enough. Hold on. I'm being stingy. I'm gonna use my clay. Let's see. Am I missing questions? Directions in case also itemized parts list. Okay. Alright, one more time. Let me try this. But y'all see where I'm going with it, right? Just don't use a lot of cornstarch. Seems like Sally she never uses cornstarch, I think. But if I'm making a bunch of them, mine start sticking. It just may be different climates. And also, y'all, if you're sitting around trying to stay awake, watching TV, just go ahead and make some molds, and you can stick them in the freezer, and they'll say they don't freeze to where they harden up. I mean, they freeze hard enough to pop out, which is good for some of those really delicate, intricate molds, but they thaw out very quickly. All right, so now let's see if this is better. I'm gonna press it down a little harder. That other one just kind of looked like a line. Didn't have any separation. All right, this is better. This is better. See how it's more separated. All right. Sorry, y'all. That would have driven me crazy. I don't like them to look smushed. All right, so we're gonna I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this little motion right here where you just kind of squeeze it. This one's so skinny, you kind of have to do it like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it right across there. I'm gonna use my X-Acto knife, cut it right on that line. This knife is terrible. Oh, I forgot I've got several in my purse that Harbor Freight gave me. How kind. They're like 20 cents. Okay. I don't know if I have to make another one or not. I may. Probably will, just a little bit. I'm gonna put this one to the back. Alright, and so I'll make just a little bit, one more. But see, that looks good. And then if it, let's just glue them on real quick. If it happens to separate anymore, like I said, you can fill that in with glue. You don't have to use this. Most of the time I don't do this. You can, I mean, once you paint it, it fills it all in. Well, you know what would look good in here is one of those little birds that is in the entomology transfer set. They're tan. I may do that tomorrow. And if you think of any questions after I'm off of here, drop them in this this video. We'll try to cover. We may do resins next Monday, the epoxy and the fast cast. I don't think I'll do hot glue. I mean, I can't use hot glue. I don't know how to do it. It hurts me. It burns me to death. And I say bad words. And so we don't need to be doing that. But see, isn't that cute? I like it like that. That way you won't have any, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident that it will dry pretty much like this. I mean, mine really don't shrink. So I'm gonna heat that up real quick. And y'all, this is a Warrior cheap heat gun from Harbor Freight. Nothing special about it. I put it on the hot setting. It has 2 settings, low and high. I do it on the hot for probably 30 seconds. Maybe not even that long. That one still looks too long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. It has 7 beads. 7. I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, make sure those are straight. You don't want those crooked. All right, that's it. That's it, guys. Let's see. Did I miss anything? So you want to dry them. You want them to be dry before you paint them. You don't have to. Oh, we were going to do the glass. Do y'all want to do a glass? Just it's the same thing. It can just air dry, Jody. But for me, I just feel like that helps with the shrinking and the cracking. I don't know. I mean, I can't say 100% that it does, but since I started doing it, I've had much better success with my molds, when they dry. But it is called air dry clay, so it dries. And maybe if you do the little pressing like I was doing and then just let it air dry, it may be fine. I think that's more important than the heat, is just making sure you kind of softly smush them, press them. Let's say press, smush it in a word, is it? But the glass right here would be this. You do the same thing. You glue it on right out of the mold. But again, we are gonna you want it to dry before you paint them, just because they're still soft, and you can, I wish I had my little thing here where I put the metal leaf on it, the silver metal leaf. But, what else? And you can even put a little, you can put anything in these corners too. I mean, you could, and I wouldn't mind putting that beaded trim right on the inside as well. And just make this a little bit thicker. You could put the bead on the outside and the inside and just have a really thick frame, which I love. I think that looks really good, and just have really cute, dainty transfer, or mold, or like a bird mold or a flower mold. I mean, it's just so many options, y'all. So many. All right, we'll just do this real quick. Like, I use way too much clay. Now, no matter what you use, the epoxy or the clay or whatever, you're gonna want to glue it on right when you take it out of the mold, because it dries completely, however it comes out, and you want to be able to glue it down flat. And when I'm doing this, y'all, I'm trying to be as horizontal with it as I can, not up like this. Okay. Okay, pop it out of the mold. All right, let's just do this real quick. Press it. Do it like this. Like this. All right. I can tell that just shortens it up. Now, you can also just let them, sit out and air dry and paint them before you glue them on. And that probably will work fine if you're doing something flat. But you're not gonna want this trim to dry hard and then try to glue it around something round. It's not gonna work. It'll break. It'll break. Any of it'll break if you let it harden too much. All right, so got your little jar here. Just gonna glue it just like we were doing. If some comes out, just use a little wet brush, some of the glue. All right. Now, a lot of you will want to stretch that and pull it to fit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just let it, you know, we've already scrunched it. If I hadn't have scrunched it, it would have fit and it would have separated because it would have shrunk a little bit. And I'm just going around all the little tops right there. So what we're going to do is make another piece. Also, if you put something on a mold on something like this and stand it up, there is a tendency for it to slide down. So if you do that, you can put a little piece of tape here. I think I have a little piece. Like put a little piece of painter's tape right here on the edge, and then kind of over it like that. You just do it around several little pieces and it'll hold it in place. I think I've told y'all I did that huge pumpkin and they all fell off. I left the pumpkin sitting up and they all slid down. I don't know if I was using this glue at the time because this catches pretty fast. And that's another reason I use the heat gun to dry the glue. All right, so we got that. Now look. I'm like, okay, well, I need another little bit to squeeze in there. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the clay. I don't need a whole piece. I'm not going to put any more starch in there. This is just a little piece. Yeah, Valerie, that's true. If you get cracks, you can use, that's what I was saying. You can even use this glue. You can use a white glue that dries white. That would be good. You could use, I use embossing medium a lot because I just have it laying around. You can use caulking. You know, the white caulking. Putty. There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal if it cracks. Some people like it to do that. But I don't like it to separate in between like my trims because you can tell. I mean, because the design, you know, there's a separation in the design. I mean, probably no one else can tell but me. And after a while, it doesn't even bother me, so. All right, let's see here. Kind of flat as I can get it. I love this little rope trim. I use it a lot. And this would be really cute if you like that black and white check to do this black and white. That's cute. All right, and so you're just gonna make it fit. Okay, so when it ends, it just kind of fits like a puzzle. Okay, like that. Let me get my thumb out of the way. All right. And so I'm gonna squish it a little bit right here. Okay. I'm gonna put it down. And I just kind of look and let me just see, I can't see good because of the light, but See, that one's on an angle. I better look and see what I'm doing here. Oh, it's going this way. I'm just gonna, and I usually just try to squeeze it in there, if that makes sense. So I'll cut it a little bit bigger and then squeeze it in there and then just kind of smooth it out with my finger. A lot of times I'll use my, it's already sliding down, my little tip of my, did I put glue on that? Didn't? Gosh, I'm getting tired, y'all. And I'm sure y'all are. So let me just wrap this up. Our attention span is can only be so long, right? Oh, shoot. Don't roll it on the table because it smushes. So I'll just kind of work that back and forth. But it will fill in. What I'll do, this dries clear, but it still will fill in, and I smushed it a little bit because I laid it on the table. But here's what I'm talking about. I will just kind of fill it in right here with that glue. Doesn't matter what color you use because you're going to paint it, right? So see, then it's filled in. I gotta work with this. I gotta get it up straight. All right, guys, that's it. I think I'll have to, yeah, I laid it down and smushed some spots. So I'll have to pucker it back up. But that'll be cute. You know, I like to do this with little flower pots. And you can put another little mold. So what I did the other day was, and if you have a little top for it, but this could be like a little Valentine love notes thing. Write down everything you love about your Valentine and put the pieces in there, right? I mean, cut them all out, write it all down, cut them all out, and let them pull them all out. And it's, I did that for Ralph one time. It was mostly about cooking. I love that you cook. I love what you cook. I love I don't have to cook. No. All right, but that's it, guys. So, kitty. All right, guys. Let's see. I closed off, and when I woke, I thought you were making a bracelet. Betty, I always put you to sleep. It could be a bracelet, especially if you're using epoxy, right? That could definitely be a bracelet, any of those. Now, I know the sisters use these for bracelets, but they use a different kind of, what do they use? It's not clay, this kind of clay. It's some other kind of clay. But all right, guys, let's see. Do you have to wash the glass first? Well, it's best. I do it with alcohol. I just kind of clean it with alcohol, especially if you're going to use a transfer or paint it. But yeah, just with some alcohol. But I didn't paint it. I did clean it, but this is kind of like what I used the metal leaf on. And so that's what I did, silver. And it was so cute. I didn't even think I liked silver. I had never used silver. And then I used it, and it's so pretty, especially like with the little burgundy or the pink ribbons. You know, something just very simple. But you just paint the size on, the leafing size, and then put your leafing on there. Let it dry for a little bit, and then put your leafing on there. But, so, we'll come back. I think it's tomorrow that I put down that I will, I'll come back and I'll do something with this. I'll either put a mold or a transfer or something. We'll do something. But, okay, I liked how that turned out. Let me know if you have any other questions. Can you put these on a wine bottle? Oh, absolutely. I put these on all kind of bottles. I'll show you, but I have them upstairs. I actually use them. Yeah, I've got them upstairs. You can put them on anything. I even put, I always use it on like a wine, not a wine bottle. I didn't, but it's the same thing. It's glass. So yes, I use all kind of jugs, glass. I find that's what I look for when I go to thrift store. Some kind of pretty glass, unique glass. I'm still looking, but it's not. I love pulling this glue off too. So if you like doing that, you'll get to do that as well. Picture of the leafing. I posted a picture. Oh, I think I've got it scheduled to post tonight. You'll see it, but it's also on my page where I did it. I took some of Ralph's cocktail glasses that he's all of a sudden decided he's interested in learning about bourbons. So, and I sent him a picture. I said, "Look what I did to your glasses." He brought home like a little set of glasses that were little, and I put gold leaf on those. And they're just really pretty. I mean, I went to the Dollar Tree and found some champagne glasses, and I put gold leaf on those. So simple, y'all. And that'd be such a cute little gift. You could stamp a tea towel or just take a bottle of wine. Don't ask me about what's a good wine. I just don't know my wines. But a bottle of wine, and then take some wine glasses that you have gold leafed. So pretty. So pretty. All right, guys. Yes, I love taking this glue off. If somebody got questions, Faye, I'll come back. Yeah, I was using air dry clay. Go back to the beginning and watch. I was using this air dry clay by IOD. Well, it's just all about molds today. How to, best practices for the molds. Okay. Alrighty. Well, you guys have a great evening. Thank you so much for popping on. Let me know if you have any more questions, and I will see you guys, I think it's tomorrow. Bye.